Evening, good morning, good afternoon, whichever part of the world you're joining us from. This is COPDEM People's Parliament, and we are happy to have you join us on this program. Tonight, we'll be dissecting a number of issues of national concern because we want to actually discuss areas where need deliberation. Tonight, our COPDEM People's Parliament, for those joining us on Zoom, in case you want to be part of the live audience to have your views, please leave the number to call 08062 To be on this note, I say welcome to the People's Parliament. My name is Akko Christian Archer, aka the process. I'm the anchor of this corporate People's Parliament, and I'll be taking you around a number of five trending stories. Number one we have on our list is Mopar flood. 200 bodies recovered and 1,000 still missing. That is a whopping number. And I guess you remember Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, actually visited the victims and he made a kind donation of 20 million naira in order to assist the state government cope with this natural disaster of flood in Niger State. And he also donated a trailer load of grain to the good people of Mokwa in order to assist in this time of emergency. And number two on the item, we have 2025 budget, theater of unimaginable corruption and deliberate wastages of scarce resources. And this is coming from COPDEM, that is 2025 budgets, theater of unimaginable corruption and deliberate wastages of scarce resources. Now, number three on the trending stories, we have summary of Mr. Peter Obi, humanitarian donations and leadership with compassion. Of course, Mr. Peter Obi has been known to be a leader that is striving with compassion across the country. He has always been persistent in meeting people in their respective area of need, especially in schools, hospitals, and general humanitarian interventions. And number four, we have the 27 coalition. Peter will be the candle of hope on the coalition table. That is, this is coming from COPDEM People's Parliament. Peter will be the candle of hope on the coalition table. That's the position of COPDEM People's Parliament. That is to say, if you take Peter from the coalition table, the table is empty because his ideas about how a country should be run resonates with the youthful population of Nigeria. And of course, the youths are over 60% of Nigerian population. So you can see Mr. Peter Obi is the bone of contention, and that's why whether ruling party, opposition, in the political sphere of the country, there is no way they can go without mentioning Mr. Peter Obi on a daily basis. And number five, which is last but not the least, of course, is the New Nigerian Youth Summit. The New Nigerian Youth Summit has been a program we'll be looking up to hosting, and it has been confirmed that it will actually hold on the on the 12th, that is June 12th, Democracy Day. Of course, we are using that to bring together the Nigerian youth population to have a discussion around the table on what's happening nationwide and how the country should be governed. It is on this note I say welcome you. I welcome you all to tonight's COPDEM People's Parliament. And it's my pleasure to have you all on the Zoom being part of this program. Of course, we have viewers out there, their YouTube, their DTN who have been part of this program for very many, for a very long time, and they are always part of this program. Thank you all for your time and your commitment to follow up on this program. And we assure you that we will keep the temple burning always to ensure that the Nigerian democracy is actually being brought to the right direction. Mr. Jepson, I saw you just joined us. Mr. Kadibu has been here. Thank you for being part. Mr. Kadibu is joining us from Abia State, I guess I'm right. And Mr. Jepson is joining us from Kwara State. Again, viewers out there on BIBBN YouTube.
I'm joining from Ebony State, not from Abia State.
Okay, thank you for that correction, and Mr. Kadibu from Ebony State. We are glad to have you on board. So having outlined these 5 training stories, I don't know which one is of interest to you, but for me, I will stick to one of the topics after you guys will have made your contribution. So please unmute and speak in case you want the number read out again, so you catch along, you can let me do so. But now we have the Mokwa flood, 200 bodies recovered, and 1,000 still missing. And number 2 is 25 budgets, a theater of unimaginable corruption and deliberate attempt of wastage of scarce resources. Then number 3 is summary of Mr. Peter Obi's humanitarian donation and leadership with compassion. Meanwhile, before we go into audience participatory, I would like to read out the 25 budgets. I spent the weekend when this issue of full budget was coming up, and looking at the approval of the 5 other budgets, a complete mess and deliberate wastages of scarce resources, of course. Everywhere you look, that is, on the 2025 budget, all you could see is solar street lights, inverter, classroom repairs. Then you also see cash grants to constituents. You also see ministry building roads, classroom places, etc. These are just the things. And of course, the amount of money that is earmarked for this project, you just not believe. Also, for instance, you see renovation of and furnishing of artist hotels in Abuja. Yes, artist hotels. And what's the government business with furnishing and renovating artist hotels? These are some of the projects that will come together and put in the Nigerian budget, because the Nigerians, we don't consult our budget, we don't know the content, we don't bother to ask for the content of Nigerian. They just release it to us and go ahead, because they know we are two docile people. And for the Ministry of Art and Culture is duplicated 6 times some amount, same budget code. That is 6 times a particular budget item was repeated in the Ministry of Art and Culture. 6 times. This is a slap on our faces. Please, can you kindly mute Mr. Kadibo, please? You are interrupting. Thank you. So, the Secretary of the Government of the Federation budget reads like para Christmas. That is for budget of the Secretary of the Government of the Federation. The budget looks like para Christmas, where money are just being dished out to individuals. They know that Nigerians will not go even looking into the details of the budget. We only look at the sum total of the budget, and we just get around it after 2 days, everybody moves on. But this time around, Nigerians are becoming wiser and begin to look into the details of this budget. Number 1 on the list for the Secretary to the Government of the Federation is 800 million naira for honorary and sitting allowance. Honorary and sitting allowance, 800 million naira. This money is enough to have prevented the flood that happened at Mokwa if we are able to take the life of average Nigerian very seriously. Of course, there are patterns and ways in which the society should be developed, where there are necessary outlay, there should be outlay, where there is necessary infrastructure, like runway, where in the event of flood, There are the easy passage of this water instead of piling up in one place and taking over the entire community. These are some of the things we're talking about bad government. Number two is 150 million naira for supply and furnishing of royal father homes in Gombe. This is unimaginable. What is the business of Secretary to the Government of the Federation in what? The supply in supply and furnishing of royal father homes. That is all the emirs in Gombe. Their furnishing and supply will be taken care of by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Does that make sense to you? You can now see reason why Nigerians should be very interested in our budget. Number three on that same list is uncountable. That is, there are too many. You cannot itemize it. Uncountable amount of food items. What? Secretary to Government of the Federation. What's his business with food items donation? Well, that is what it is. Uncountable solar projects. Now solar will go. Nigerians are hungry. Everywhere you turn around in 2025 budget, you see solar. Solar. Where are the solar? Is it spirits that are using the solar? Well, it's up to you to decide. And there is no coordination. There is no coordination. The idea of budget is for strategic planning, strategic implementation on how to develop the country. In this case, the items I've read out so far doesn't look like there is a coordination. Of course, no, absolutely no coordination. There is no coordination, no strategy. Strategy, for instance, you know, for a country of over 250 million people, they will definitely need power supply. They definitely need housing project. They definitely need water supply. They definitely need housing. They need food. These are strategic, basic things that the government is supposed to focus. When you focus on all these, then you now talk about power, the power supply. For what? For boosting industrial development of the country. After that, we talk about security. How do you secure the lives and property of Nigerian masses, as well as investors that are willing to come to your country? All these are not on the table. Every now and then we are having what? Banditry attack, terrorism attack, emirs are being kidnapped, citizens are being kidnapped, governors are also being threatened. Everybody, nobody is having peace in Nigeria. And you expect investors to come. No way, there is no power now. Even right now, I'm running this program on solar. There is no power supply in Nigeria. So, and I go on to say, there's no strategy. It's just individual insertions to spend. That is, in the general outlook of the 2025 budget, it's just individual insertion. Social donation to social individual to just make up Nigerian budget. How do you expect Nigeria to become a developed country with this shenanigans taking place in our what? Budgetary allocation. You begin to wonder, are there mad people that came together to put up this budget, or they are normal human beings? Yes, our people are busy praying in church, praying in mosques, expecting miracle. That miracle will not come because these people, they are busy destroying whatever God has kept for Nigeria to be okay. In terms of resources, we have everything. It's just leadership that's our problem because we allow the mad people among us to rule us. Let's go further. I give you another example. Let it not look like the ones I gave you earlier. It's just no. These are just handpicked, sir. You can make out your time to also visit the 2025 budget. But if you want to do so, make sure you're able to take some medicine to relieve you of high blood pressure. Otherwise, you will have problems. You may not sleep overnight. I'll give you another example. Ministry of Foreign Affairs is spending 300 million naira on provision of relief items and capacity development. For what? IDPs. In the what? Northeast. Northeast alone. IDPs. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs. What is the business of Foreign Affairs Ministry with IDP? I don't understand. Where is the place of Minister of Interior? Where is the place of Humanitarian Ministry? What is their job? If the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is now coming internally to serve, to provide goods and services to what? IDPs. Are you getting what I'm trying to sense? We use all these things to make tracing this budget implementation very difficult. How can you assess Ministry of Foreign Affairs? Trying to find out if they have implemented their budget allocation or not. Look at who approved this budget. These are some of the roles that the Senate President is expected to play. What do they do when they say they are scrutinizing Nigerian budget? Is it this trash? They say they are scrutinizing. This is one reason why every youth should be interested in going into the National Assembly in order to ensure that the right thing is done. Let us continue. So, Ministry of Foreign Affairs is spending 300 million on provision of relief items and capacity development for IDPs. What capacity are you seeing in Nigerian IDP? The IDPs are in shanties. People, there is no source of livelihood there. As a matter of fact, there is no water, there is no light, there is no school. I wonder what they are doing over there. What are they doing in the IDP? The IDP Nigerians are just looking helplessly and abandoned. If you look at a deserted community, there is no water, no light, no school. Where is all this money going to? Over 300 million for Northeast alone. We have not talked about North Central. We've not talked about other parts of the country where there are IDPs. So how much will the federal government claim to be spending? Is an eye-opener for you and I to get involved in the government of our country, because you don't have another country. If you go to any other part of the country, you are just a visitor. Let's keep it there. So, 300 million of provision of relief items and capacity development of IDPs in the Northeast. Why is the foreign ministry spending money to take care of IDP inside Nigeria? That's the question I ask you. Why should the foreign ministry get involved in spending Nigerian money to take care of IDP? Where is the place of humanitarian ministry? Where is the place of Ministry of Interior? Where is the place of those that are saddled with the responsibility of emergency management, NEMA, National Emergency Agency? What are they doing? What is their role? If the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is to be involved, I mean, being given the contract for over 300 million naira, they don't use all these things to siphon Nigerian money. Not as if maybe they eventually give this ministry this contract, but they use it as loopholes because they know you and I, we are too busy praying in church. We are too busy taking care of going to work, job that cannot even take care of our basic needs. How much is a bag of rice? It's over 70,000 naira. Yes, how much is minimum wage? You cannot do the mathematics and you know where you arrive at. Let us continue. So the question is, would that not be area of responsibility of internal ministry or humanitarian ministry? These are some of the things I'm saying. It is not the job of Ministry of Foreign Affairs to take care of IDP. So it is just another loophole created to siphon Nigerian resources. It's the cash grants budget item that scares me. We are going into the cash grants. All this one they come and announce and say they want to help Nigerians out of poverty. They want to help the poor people to liberate them. My brother, anytime you hear that, just know that that is another conduit pipe that is being connected to our budget. They are stealing our resources in broad daylight. They are not even doing it with shame. Look at it. Just so you understand, there are insertions. Some of the amount of 300 million naira, where a legislator is saying he wants federal funds to share as a grant. What's the business of legislator with sharing grants? Where is the place of humanitarian ministry? I ask again. The primary responsibility of the legislator is lawmaking. Any other thing is secondary. So let's go further. So what is humanitarian ministry doing? You know, ask that question. So go on. And 300 million naira. You know, legislator. Each legislator is getting 300 million naira for what? For federal funds to share as grants. How many of you in your constituency have received this amount of money from your legislator? My brother, they're just using our brain in this country. There is nothing. They are doing nothing, virtually nothing. They are just corrupt. Let's continue. The only reason a senator would ask to be given 300 million naira as grant, but not earmarked to the Ministry of Humanitarian, is because a grant needs less accountability. Nobody cares about how these grants are spent, you know. You can just call a few people and share the money. Claim you have spent 500 million naira. Nobody asks where is the account details of the people you share the money to. You know, this is conduit pipe, you know. The federal government knows that the senators are not genuinely going there to do that task. So they give them crumbs out of this money, and the rest ends in Tinubu's pocket. This is what has been playing out in the Nigerian budget. It's just now that the Gen Z generation are beginning to look inward to say what is happening to our budget. It's high time we ask questions. We'll continue to see how far we can go for today, because the problems are so many that we cannot actually handle all of them. The only reason a senator asks for to be given 300 million naira as grant, but not the amount of Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, is because the grant needs less accountability. Nobody asks you how far. It's not a road. If it is a road project, somebody will ask in the community and say, contract was given for construction of so road. Where is the road? In terms of grants, there is no accountability. Nobody can actually monitor it. They can't claim any amount of money has been shared. And you are now languishing in poverty, crying in the market because of the money that is going out of Nigerian coffers. It is actually causing inflation in the market, whereas we are not beneficiary of this money that is being shared is causing inflation. So, I forgot. He will give 1 million naira to Indie Twitter. That is where they come in. The Twitter generation will come and say, we need to, don't you know they need time? You know, they need time to be part of this whole thing. They need time to make progress. They need time to be able to deliver their campaign promises. These projects that I'm reading now, these are just a tip of an iceberg of the corruption that has been happening in the country. What do you expect from them? Virtually nothing. There is no way they'll be part of anything that is making progress for the masses. So it is up for you to decide where you want the country to go. If you want to continue having expectation that they will deliver on that campaign promise, well, I hope and I wish you well. But based on what I'm reading so far, do you think there's any hope? Well, let us continue. In case you forgot the reason why P2B is being attacked on a daily basis, in case you forgot the reason why obedience are being called obedience and all those negative names, is because they have been paid 1 million naira to be able to fight battle on behalf of APC, to continue to paint them that they are doing well, whereas they are doing nothing. You and I, we are aware of it. They are virtually doing nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'll be able to take the second version of it. Unfortunately, we have overshot our time. And tomorrow will be another lovely time to continue with this same topic. As a matter of fact, today's topic will not be changed for the next 1 week because we have a lot to do on it. Summary of Mr. P2B's humanitarian activities. This one will be coming up by tomorrow. For now, let me entertain questions from the audience participants on Zoom. Please unmute. I'm sorry I've taken your time, but it's because the Nigerian problem is so big, so long, so large that we find it difficult where to capture it from. So far, we'll be able to do justice to 2 sections of the 2025 budget. We're going to point out the loopholes that have been affecting the country. You'll just be imagining that trillions of naira are going out, but then you are not feeling the impact. Why are you not feeling the impact? Because the money is being stolen by and shared by few individuals in high places. Then they'll give the crumbs to few individuals to come on social media and abuse those of us that are demanding for accountability. Welcome to Nigeria. That's the policies that is playing out. That's the policies that some people claim that P2B does not know how to play. These shenanigans have to stop. And it will not just stop. If you continue watching, doing nothing, it will not just stop. It takes action. It takes commitment. It takes enough zeal to stand and say enough is enough. We have yet another window. I hope we're able to reach there anyway if we are not kidnapped by herdsmen and terrorists who are going around freely, whereas the citizens who are determined to take to be on guard as self-defense, their guns are being apprehended by the military, whereas the terrorists are moving freely in our community. Welcome to Nigeria. That is what is happening. So my guest on Zoom, please unmute and have your say on some of this expose I've been able to lay on the Nigeria budget 2025. Who is going first? Please, audience out there, please unmute and speak. Before we wrap it up, we have the next 5 minutes to wrap up tonight's program. Sorry, we start late and we just have to wrap up because we have yet another meeting by 8 o'clock. Okadibo Josiah, you want to speak? Jobson, are you available to speak? Whoever is available to speak, please feel free to unmute and speak. Otherwise, I'll be wrapping up the program any moment from now.
Okay. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Okadibo.
Yes.
Josiah from Ebonyi State.
Yes, it's quite embarrassing to Nigerians that we found ourselves in this situation. Seriously, when we look at what is happening in the Nigerian budget, we will be asking ourselves, where are we heading to? How do we achieve our dreams? Especially the youth. Because you see that some set of people have hijacked the bursary of the country, the economy of the country, and they are just making it a self-centered something for their own personal interest, disregarding the millions of Nigerians. So, and this comes to one thing that I keep telling myself, that I must be involved in fighting for good governance until it is achieved. If we want to talk about so many lapses, so many ills going on, we will keep talking about it for a whole day and we will not finish, because it is too much. It is getting too much. Even the 30-kilometer road, is it Lagos road or Ibadan something that have been trending recently?
Lagos Calabar Expressway, which is not even up
Yes,
to that.
Lagos Calabar. They say, yes, was it this afternoon I was going through to it and I learned that it's not even up to 30 kilometers. There was a
Yes.
video going on. And you see, and they called a lot of dignitaries, governors, to commission that kind of thing. That is too barbaric. And it's very, very unfair. So my own is that I will keep doing my best, whatever way I can, support or do anything I can do till this good governance is achieved. I'll keep on doing it, because we must not continue like this. The future is at stake. The whole country, if you continue like this, by the end of these 4 years of Tinubu regime, I don't know where we'll find ourselves. So that's my little contribution for now.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Okadibo. Do we have further contribution on today's topic that we so raised? While we anticipate further contribution, the new Nigerian Youth Summit is scheduled for June 12th, and it is our hope and expectation that God is still alive until that day, and let's plan to be part of it. These are some of the forums that will be giving the youths the voice to be able to make input on their displeasure, how their country is being mismanaged by this rascals that hijack the Nigerian government seats. Do we have further contribution? All right, in the absence of further contribution, viewers out there on Zoom, on YouTube and DDM, we thank you for being part of tonight's program. It has been a very wonderful moment, as a matter of fact, we've been able to delve deep into some few items on the Nigerian budget 2025. And it is my expectation, I believe, that going forward, the Nigerian government will be more careful in terms of their budgetary allocation, because they understand that Nigerian youths are working and are more concerned about the content of the Nigerian budget, which previously they've never really showed that concern. And it's a sign that things are changing, and the consciousness towards a new Nigeria is rising. As a matter of fact, if not for the consciousness, you and I may just be going about our normal businesses without knowing that there was this 226.25 million naira per street light. If I want to ask you, what's the economic value of that one street light to the average life of Nigerians? What's the economic benefits of that one street light to the Nigerian economy in general? These are some of the deliberate attempts to suffocate the Nigerian economy, to suffocate Nigerians. And it will surprise you to know that these funds that they are just lavishing and spending are all what? Proceeds of loan that have been collected from World Bank, from IMF, from China. They're just wasting these funds. Throughout President Muhammadu Buhari, he collected loans from China to construct rail projects. He collected loans from China to build the Nigerian Airways. Where are these projects today? To count just a few. And Tinubu has come to continue with the shenanigans that Buhari successfully implemented. So the choice is ours, Nigerian youths. It's time for us to rise up and rescue the country, because we cannot afford to run and leave a beautiful country as Nigeria. Virtually everything we need is in this country. Even it is gold, we have it in abundance. Even in Niger State here, there are gold. In Zamfara, that they claim to be very poor states. Of course, there are gold mine in Zamfara. Zamfara do not deserve to be poor, but it's because the bad government that we have, the bunch of criminals that are in charge of power, they go there, they drive away the locals and plant bandits in this location, so that to safeguard the environment for the foreign expatriates who are cobalt, who have been brought in to steal and loot Africa dry. These are some of the people. And Europeans and other it is my hope that one day Nigerian youth will be able to rise to be able to rescue themselves. At this point, it is not, nobody will come to rescue us. We have to rise to rescue ourselves. Thank you for being part of tonight's program. Until you come our way tomorrow, thank you. It's good night from here in the studio. Thank you. Bye-bye.